Hey y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 3 in our series on how to train for Deka if you don't have the equipment. So today we're talking all about zone 3, the box step over or jump. Here we go. Once again, if you're here for strategy for zone 3, I have a whole different video on that here. For today, in this video, we're talking about how to train for Deka if you don't have a box at your gym. So we have 2 areas to cover today. Number 1, strength. Number 2, mobility. First off, starting with strength, we have our first one, which is the obvious one, of course, is our step up or step over using things like a aerobic step or a bench. So here I'm using an aerobic step, and this is about 20 inches on the height. You can add a couple of extra risers in there if you need to get up to 24, but the catch here is safety. You wanna make sure that you have a good firm base of support because these aerobic steps, the higher they get, the more unstable they are. So finding a flat surface for a chair or a bench that's also flat and wide to step over is always the best option. If you need to resort to an aerobic bench, just go slow and make sure you don't compromise safety for speed. Another obvious strength exercise here is a squat. Squats are the king of lower body and the king of the quads and glutes, which is exactly what you need for this zone here. So make sure you're incorporating squats into your routine and don't forget about those big compounds. Another strength exercise here is a mini band knee lift. So that's where you put the mini band around both of your feet and then lift one knee at a time and try to hold a little bit at the top there, taking it nice and slow so we can work those hip flexors and the quad a little bit there. That should help you build the hip flexor strength to get that knee all the way up to that box surface, especially if that height is a little hard for you to reach. And in that same vein, for the hip flexor, we can do a leg lift over a foam roller. So here we wanna make sure we keep a nice tall posture and a strong core so that as we lift the leg stays nice and straight and we're working those hip flexors and quads. And moving right on to mobility, our first one here is low lunges. Just like we talked about in episode 1 of our series here, we have some low lunges where the knee is over the toe and your hips sink down to the floor to stretch out that hip flexor some. And if you watched episode 2 of this series, you'll know about the yogi squat. Well, we'll add on to that one here. Here we're gonna find a yogi squat to a hamstring stretch. This is kind of like a Kang squat, but more of a mobility and stretching base. And finally here, going back to my yoga roots, this one is one of my absolute favorite yoga poses, even though it is slightly awkward. It's called Happy Baby, where you bring your knees down to the sides of your armpits and you sink them down towards the floor as you reach up towards your ankles or your feet. And that one is so good for your hips. It just looks a little funny. And that's a wrap on zone 3. If you have any specific strength or mobility exercises that you like to do for zone 3 without the box, go ahead and drop those below. And I also have a treat for you guys because the waitlist for my new program Hybrid Strength is finally open. So check out the link down below for all the details about the program. But if you want to train like an athlete and have purpose in your fitness again, then this program is totally for you. It'll help you rock your hybrid races and be super fun in the process too. So check out that link below if you want to learn more, or if you want to put your name on that wait list. You will be the first to know when the doors open and when the program is going to launch. But other than that, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay healthy. Bye.